All right. Afternoon, guys. Today I want to share what you can do with Codex app. So this one is something like cloud co-work. That means it's like cloud code, but instead of for developers, this is primarily developed for uh, a non-technical stuff instead. So it's also an agentic tool that basically can think in loop to complete a certain task. So instead of just a simple LLM question and answer tools, this kind of a tool can actually take in a prompt or instruction from you and think about how it will want to produce the output for you in a best optimal manner that's designed by the tool itself. They call it a harness. That means it will not just take a prompt from you. It will also think about what's the best way to achieve what you want, and then probably look at what kind of skills available to it, what kind of tools available to it, and then plan of how to sequentially run certain action, so that in the end that it will confidently tell you that the task um, that it did for you is done. So it's it's a lot more helpful and powerful than just the LLM chatbot that we are used to way before lah. All right. So what I've done so far, I mean, what can I show? What I can show now is what I've done earlier, just to show that what are the things you can do with this app. So basically, I said I have an idea to create a banner. I mean, a poster banner to promote ESG, for example, to the staff of the office. So first, general statement saying, asking that whether you can create a graphical idea. So not going straight into the artifact straight away. We are thinking about think about how you want to achieve the end goal. So start with just thinking about how are we going to design the graphics for this book banner. So when you ask first time, it will say something like a general output. So forget about all this. These are all the thinking method that I prompt for the AI to always use, to think heavily about whatever that I input to it. But every time look at this section, the recommendation part. So it says here, go with a clean, just a general idea first, because it's ESG. We say, just go with some sort of concept of small action, big impact kind of promotion. And it also says something like, we should promote these things like save energy, reduce waste. So okay, with that in mind, then I asked whether if we were to turn that idea into a graphical illustration, then what should be there? So it says here, make the banner a single illustrated. So it's just basically saying it should be one poster banner lah, that have all these things lah. So it should be centered on office floor and then have a green energy waste action on the side, things like that. So I said okay. So but knowing LLM has the global idea, so we want it to. I don't want it to portray something that's in Africa, for example. So I said, make it local content, something in Malaysia. And then actually I should have gone straight into a bit more local than that, but I said Malaysia first. So he said, okay, Malaysia, then go with use Bahasa Malaysia, a combination of Bahasa and English, and then do something a modern Malaysia office, blah blah blah. I said, so this is just asking whether you can create graphic. Of course you can. Whether you can actually do a bit more local than that. So before that, I asked to create a prompt so that I can see what kind of prompt it will that we should prompt it to produce that kind of graphic. This technique is called meta prompting. So it means that instead of actually asking for the graphic straight away using our prompt, the way we prompt to get the graphic. The problem is, I'm not exactly a graphical kind of guy. So instead of me creating the prompt so that I can use the prompt to create the graphic, the prompt itself, I ask the AI to do it for me so that it will, because AI has more graphic design, graphic wordings, ideas, and with the stuff that it learns from his pre-training data. So I would not be able to prompt like this. This is very specific. This is very precise. So that's why if you want to do graphic, then do meta prompting technique to produce the graphic. That means you ask for the AI to produce the prompt, and then later use the AI to use the prompt to produce the graphic. So that's the idea. Okay, so this is the prompt that it created. Then I realized it was talking about Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya. I don't want that. I want more localized. I was thinking that this should be on the company lah. I mean, focus or scope it more on the localized content for the company itself. Right. So I says, there's a logo there, and then can you actually be more specific to the particular company instead of just like a localized country? So it says, okay, fine. So it enhanced the prompt again, but this time to actually be more specific to a company environment. right? So when I look at this, then I said, okay, looks good. So go ahead and use that prompt to generate the banner or poster banner that we talked about earlier, and then I tell it to do a size of typical A4 poster, right? So this is what it produced, and to tell you the truth, this is pretty what do you call it, meticulous. Look at the details of this image, or more like a poster. I mean, somebody from the corporate could easily, use this for staff communication. Of course, the wording and everything else should be tailored more towards what they usually send out. But this is pretty not pretty good. This is really good, right? So that's one way to use this Codex app, which is an agentic agentic tool lah, for us to use AI the way that it will think every time it wants to produce some output for us. Okay, so I also have saved these two sample Excel file from the internet, basically from a legit sites lah. So one is basically just random data that has I think one is for HR and one is for product management, if I'm mistaken. I mean, I don't know I don't remember. Okay, so this is basically HR lah. So saying that this guy, this department, designation, hire date, annual salary, this is that just random data that they provide as sample in the internet lah. So I downloaded it. So I want to use Codex to actually work with this data. So how do we do that? So first we start with the new chat, and then ask find. Okay, so there's another way. I mean, I don't really type much nowadays because talking is much faster. Find all the Excel file inside this project. Okay, it found both of the file. Okay, so choose to work with one of them for now, and then go ahead and try to analyze what basically what's inside the Excel file. Oh, okay. Select one of them so that we can work on it, and then do a summary of what's inside the Excel file. So now the AI will go and try to read the content of or one of the Excel file. So it chooses to actually work on sample one, the SLX. So we're going to work on that file first. So if you notice, this is what agentic tool is. Not only because you have to remember this is an Excel file. This is not a text file. Text file can be read easily by any entity, human or robot or whatever, because text file you can just open it and read. Excel file is a proprietary data type that's by Microsoft, so you can basically use ask any programming language, for example, to just go and open this file. Cannot. So you have to think about how are you going to open this file. Install what kind of plugin and the method of opening the file, and then all those things, right? So previously AI cannot do this because it doesn't have the skill or tool for it to think and then use the tool, think, use the tool. Now it can. So you can see here that the Excel file is basically open and read, and it says here this file is basically data on the data of hold on, let me just see. Okay, 40 employees. So this is employee record, right? So now it gives like this summary. So now we can ask it to work on this. So let's say let's ask. Okay, so who's the highest paid employee we have right now? Imagine that we can actually talk to a file because AI can make it happen for us. So highest paid is Matthew Wilson and Jennifer Davis, which basically both are paid at 75K. Okay, let's do something that's not straightforward. This is what they call a single step solution, if I'm not mistaken. Maknanya, it will just somebody or something can just go in, look at it, and then find the data straight away. I mean, no a layer of steps, to get data. So let's do trend, right? Because trend, you cannot look at data and then get the answer. You have to work on the data to get the answer. All right. So what kind of trend can you extract from this data set? So instead of actually we tell it to find a trend or something like what is the rate of hiring, for example, over the years. So instead of ask that, we ask it to actually go and just look at this, random bunch of data, find me a trend that, that interesting that it will tell me instead. So let's see what it find out. Okay, in the meantime, we can actually take a look at it and ask it to, I wonder whether I can open it because now it is opening it. Okay, it's actually the same word, so which is fine. Right, so if you notice there's um, higher date designation, department and name and salary. Uh, we can do some sort of analysis about parity. Okay, let's look at what they come back with first. Strongest trend is role seniority drives salary more than department. Wow, what kind of what kind of trend is this? Backed by the okay, next presentation will be a pivot table by departments and designation. Okay, but I don't really get what you mean by pivot table by department and designation. What kind of trend are we talking about? And can you just do the analysis and tell me what is the trend in this scope? This is kind of fun. The only not so fun part of doing this with AI is, in the end of the day, whatever that the AI produce for you, you still need to verify it. Unless if you can find a way or a methodology that if the AI also run that methodology and produce some sort of output that is considered a passing mark, then not only you get the answer, but you also ask the AI to run the verification method. And then when you run the verification method and it passed, that means you're also confident that the thing that the AI produced not only is interesting, but it's also correct by method run. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but that's how I do it in my development work. I'll expand on that a little bit later. Let's look at what the thing give us. All right, so across the file, page steps down cleanly by destination level. Manager average is 7, senior supervisor, specialist score. Okay, so I'm not really good in analysis that much, especially not in my area. So I can actually follow up on this, but looking at here, the trend in scope is salary is mainly driven by designation and seniority, then adjusted by department. Oh, okay, but that's typical lah, kan? Of course lah. Right. Um, okay. Yeah. No, no. Okay. So forget that. Okay. Let's look at the data again, and let's do another multiple layer of analysis if possible. I'm not sure what we can do here, but we can do average salary per departments also can. Oh, you know what? We can do something that's not typical of normal scenario. Like we have dates and we have annual salary, and we have salary and we have dates. So we could ask, does the hiring date of the month impact the kind of salary that the guys are getting? It's just let's just do that. Just see if okay, so I want to see I want you to do another analysis. We have the hiring dates, right? And also the annual salary. Can you do some sort of analysis to see whether the hiring dates have any impact to the amount of salary being offered to the staff? I mean, I don't know if this going to show anything uh, useful in real scenario, in real life, real world. But like I said, this is also something that you can do with any data set. And this would be the last demo. After this, I'm going to show how you use Codex or what you need. Okay, Q4 highest average salary, blah, 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 then Q1 3, but that is mostly because later highest group, more juniors. Right, so higher date does not appear to have a real direct impact. Okay, so hypothesis is wrong lah. On offer salary, designation nationality is the driver. So you keep going back to the designation nationality is the driver for the high salary, of course lah. The higher date only looks relevant because of the role mix, driven by, okay, fine. All right, so yeah, so I mean, we can do more if you know what you want to extract from a data set, but I'm just showing you what you can do with this agentic tool. All right, I'm just going to take a peek at the second file. What is it about? This is project management data. assign to and end date progress. Oh, this is quite nice. This is project management. Right. Okay, let's do one. Uh, okay, let's work on the simple two Excel file instead. And can you find a trend in terms of task assignment and towards completion, whether there's something that we need to worry about? That's quite generic, but let's see how powerful this thing is. This is using OpenAI GPT 5.5 high, so it's basically the the best model provided by OpenAI right now. There's an extra high, but I don't see the need, because the higher the thinking mode that you set, the slower the response you get, because the more it will think. But the thing that we are doing right now really is not like the PhD level research, so we don't need to use extra high. Even high is overkill, but for me to use between medium and high, the cost is pretty much the same. I mean, there is a little bit decrease, but using a high have a better ROI lah, right? Okay, now it is thinking, because just now we didn't get the AI to think this long earlier. Now I got to get this guy think longer. All right, we got an answer. The trend is bad. This project set is broadly behind, with progress concentrated in a few projects, while many projects are barely moving. This verdict is driven by blah blah. Okay, so overall completion is weak. 46 tasks, only 9 complete. 22 not even started. And weighted progress is 35%. So it's behind. Uh, okay. So what? Let me just try to be like a typical project manager. What? Who is the worst performer right now? Mhm. And you can actually interrupt. Do the performance rating. With numbers and run as well. So see that this thing is actually cute. Not cute, but cute. Uh-huh. Sam is worse. Entrance. Hold on. To the performance rating with numbers and what did I say just now? I'm using what I call it whisper flow, which is speech to text converter that's running locally. So sometimes it transcribe badly, maybe because I didn't announce it properly. Uh, do the performance rating with numbers and entrance and trend, I think. KSM is worse to assign tasks with the total their work, zero progress, of course. Right. Okay. So the current performance is SAM driven by blah, check whether it's blocked for treating as a people performance issue. Okay. Right. Anyway, this is going to be my last demo on this. All right. So rated performance is 0 to 100 duration weighted completion. Okay. So overall rating is bad, 42 assignees, average score to blah blah, non excellent for good, 300, 96 and 20 critical. So basically, there's more bad than good. Formula is critical. So basically, overall is it's critical. So Sam's the worst performer, but we look with rating and reviewing Sam, Rachel, and these three basically the bottom three, I guess. And if you know any kind of like algorithm or machine learning technique, you can even inject that as the kind of input or the kind of output you want it to calculate. Okay, so basically, I'm showing you what can be done. So I've showed generating poster or banner, and also doing analysis with on Excel. But you can do a lot more than that here. You can even do programming with this. But of course, if you want to do programming, you don't use Codex app. You use Codex CLI instead. And then you download this. Let me confirm. Yeah, you go to is this where? How do we download? Because I don't know if you want to straight away use inside the developer one. Right. So this is the proper site. So go to openai.com Codex, openai.com Codex, and then download for Windows. And when you download and install, it will ask for the way to log in. So basically two ways to log in. One is if you have a ChatGPT account. If you don't, then the second method is to straight away use an API. So of course, if you don't have API, then you can just request from me, right? Okay, so when you have downloaded and get it to run, there are a few things to basically set up. So first thing will be on personalization. There's a custom instruction, so I can also provide you with this. Basically, this is to enhance the AI way of thinking, because normal AI, it will just think the natural, not natural, but the typical average human way of thinking, if that makes sense. But you can actually, using the system prompt or custom instruction, they call it, you can ask the AI to always switch on this PhD level, way of thinking. So using first principle, using the composition, system thinking, always aware of the downstream effect, look at the failure modes, Pareto principle. It's many lah. So I just pick, the top five, I think, 2, 4, 5, top five, and then work on that to always get the AI to always think in a high level way lah, right? So I can share this also with you guys. And then what's the second one? Okay, so and then plugins. So you don't have to enable so many right now. I just enable Chrome, and then presentation and spreadsheet. Those are the typical one lah. So you can even you can add some more, like working on, I think, words. It's one of them. Yeah, it's with documents. You can also enable that. Oh, it's already enabled. If it's enabled, why it's not in that list? Oh, this one is featured. Okay, sorry. How do I know which one is already enabled? Oh, this is enabled. Sorry, yeah. It's inside the skill. I don't know why it's inside skill. Anyway, so if you notice, documents is enabled, spreadsheet enabled. Playwright is basically to automate browser actions. You can click, you can open, you can go to this URL, blah blah blah. So that's one. And GitHub, of course, for my development work. Open PDF, open presentation, transcribe audio, those are quite typical. So you can actually choose, I think from the plugin, you can enable it. So let's say if you want this, you can just click plus here, and it will go ahead and install this plugin to become skilled. Right. So if anything, just reach out to me, and then I will further assist. Right. Thanks, guys.